Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Okay, we just got all of the info drop for the mythical champion that we're going to be able to pick up through the new clan boss when that patch goes live. I've got all of the kits, that type of stuff. I have not read it yet. I want to go through it live and get my live reaction. We've got a couple of like turntables on this dude as well. So we're going to check it out and see if the Chimera is going to be worth our time. I know, by the way, that some people are downcast on it because they feel like, well, Chimera Clash is going to be awful or whatever. Like they don't enjoy the idea of the clash. Look, I guess you're eventually going to get this dude, whether you're in a good clan or not. But it will take some time. Just looking at the screenshots we saw, you know, people were earning like 2 fragments in a chest. And I think it's a weekly fight, right? So it's best case, it's like a year away from getting this dude. That's the reality. But anyway, it's something we can work towards, especially if he's good. I do want to call out as well, I'm doing a stream tonight, 8 p.m. UTC, with Lady H, doing viewer shards. So if you want to come have some drinks, have some fun, come and join us for that. Okay, let's take a look at this dude on the turntable here. I mean, just things like the chained plates on his front are super sweet. The nails down his spine, very cool. The pulse on the weapon. You just have to hand it to these guys. Like, it is extremely good work. Like, just the detail is so damn good. Like this here, really cool. So many little gadgets on his belt. Ah, man, it is good. Let's see his other form quick before we go into the kits. The bestial form. Look at this. It's actually sweet. Whoever's done this one on the art team, like, fantastic work. Just like the eyes in the back of the weapon there. Okay, well, they've nailed it on design. You've got to call that out. Let's have a look at the different forms. Right, Form 1, the base form. So what's this guy called? Embreeze the Anomaly. Form 1, he's a support character in this form. We've got Fetid Glaive, attacks all enemies on an A1, destroys max HP up to 30%. Also increases the duration of a random debuff on all enemies. Cannot be resisted if enemies have necrosis, which is not a debuff we've ever heard of as far as I'm aware. We then got places True Fear on all enemies and decrease attack on all enemies for 2 turns. So True Fear is 1 turn, decrease attack 2 turns. Cannot be resisted if they've got necrosis. This books to a 4 turn. Interestingly, the booking ignores resistance, even though you don't need it. Bit of a weird one. We then got the Unmaking, books to a 4 turn. Attacks all enemies again. Removes any stone skin and replaces it with True Fear. We did get confirmation. This is still a 50-50. It's not like 100%. Pretty sure that's right. Let me check. So yeah, I mean, without any testing, it does say, and it's been asked, Scratch actually asked it in the CC chat, it is still a 50-50 chance. So if this was just straight, it removes stone skin, and it like goes against a normal 50-50, this would be brilliant. But because it's still the normal, it's actually not that great. But anyway, replaces it with True Fear. Block debuffs buffs will be replaced with block buffs. It's kind of interesting. Also removes any buffs positively affecting stats. So things like increased attack, increased defense, I guess, and puts the mirrored effects. A bit like what Amius actually does to us in the Amius fight. So things like buffs such as continuous heal and strengthen will be replaced with heal reduction and weaken. It's pretty damn crazy, actually. The mirrored debuffs will have the same duration as the buffs. Then steals 5% of each target's turn meter for each buff converted. Also decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 20%. So he's stealing turn meter himself, which could end up being, let's say he does 3 buffs into debuffs per enemy in an arena fight. So you're talking 60% steal, which means you're taking it off of the enemy, so theirs goes down and yours is going up. Plus he pushes back another 20%. Pretty mad. None of this is resisted if they've got necrosis as well. Pretty mad. I guess if they've got stone skin, they're not going to have necrosis. Anyway, wrongful existence here for the passive. So whenever an enemy is killed, Places 1 necrosis stack on all other enemies. Okay, so you've got to kill someone first. Necrosis stacks cannot be resisted or blocked. Necrosis stacks can only be removed by removing dead allies. Sorry, necrosis stacks can only be removed by reviving dead allies. Sorry. This effect does not work against bosses and their minions. And if there are multiple champions on the team with skill, yeah, okay. At the start and end of this champion's turn, instantly activates any necrosis stacks on all enemies. What does activates mean? I don't know what activates does, actually. Don't think we've been told that. Interesting. Okay, so you've got to kill someone. It's literally just a PvP thing or like a wave-based thing. No bosses get affected by necrosis, which pretty much negates a lot of its kit for bosses. Well, no, it doesn't. It means that you need accuracy for bosses, I guess. So that's not too bad. You still do the things, but you need accuracy to do it. There's a lot going on there. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot going on. Okay, let's have a look at his second form and see what's going on here. So this one is HP based. Often HP based dudes are not that powerful because there's no like increase HP in the game. They generally do not hit hard. The exception is someone like a Taras, pretty much. But yeah, normally this is not great if you're thinking about damage. So we've got attacks an enemy, places an extra hit. Extra hits, though, is where sometimes this can work. The extra hit tends to be where the damage comes from. So attacks an enemy, especially if it's conditional. Places an extra hit on the target if they've got necrosis. Also places block revive if you kill someone, which is cool. So let's hope he hits at least as hard as Phoenix. Atomize here, books to a 3-turn, attacks all enemies, deals double damage to enemies whose accuracy is lower than this champion's accuracy. Is lower, okay. Ignores 50% defense if they've got higher than this champion's accuracy. Okay, weird. It's weird. It's a weird condition, I'm not gonna lie, but hopefully either way it's gonna do a ton of damage. Your life is forfeit on a 4-turn. Swaps HP with the enemy, which is there's been some like interesting stuff you can do with the swap HP type of stuff. It's very conditional, right? So the champions that do it right now, when it works, it looks brilliant, but it's very hard to pull off actually. If the target is a boss, fully restores this champion's destroyed max HP and fully heals them instead. So a full heal, but you're obviously not swapping HP with the boss, but a full heal and fully just like improving your destroyed max HP. Each time this skill is used, increases the champion's defense by 10% while in their alternate form. Stacks up to 50%. And you get an extra turn. So it's on a 4, but it's kind of like it's on a 3. And it's kind of like this is now reduced another turn to like a 2 because of that extra turn mechanic. Don't know. You know what? Man, this guy feels a bit like the dwarf who I've got. He's better, don't get me wrong, but he feels a bit like Frolny to me. Like, he's going to be decent enough, but I don't know if he's going to be that crazy. We've then got his passive here. When this champion dies, reflects damage equal to 50% of the fatal hit back to the attacker, including surplus. He's obviously been built like arena in mind. For me, anyway, feels like he's been built arena in mind. Because this type of thing is extremely strong in the arena. It's not very strong outside of the arena. Whenever an enemy is killed, places necrosis stack on all enemies again. And then an active effect here in this form. If this champion is about to be killed by a fatal, preempts that hit and instantly puts revive on death on them. That's interesting, actually, for 1 turn. So he's about to die. He does actually die, which means that you get the reflect damage. So you do probably one-shot whoever's trying to kill you, and you pop back up alive again. That's quite interesting. And because you're probably killing the enemy, I guess then you get necrosis across the board, and then a bunch of the other stuff starts to be more effective. I don't know. It feels like he's extremely... like there's so many conditions around what's going on. You need to kill someone. Does he need to kill someone? Whenever an enemy is killed on that form, whenever an enemy is killed. So he doesn't need to be the killer. to get necrosis going. That's probably better, honestly. Because you can just have someone come in with a one-shot hit on somebody like a Rotus, and then suddenly you're on board. Like, it's happening. But anyway, look, this guy is miles away because obviously you need to find the stacks for him. But I don't know, guys. Like, interesting kit. On first, like, face value, doesn't feel like he's going to be bursting into metas and, you know, must-get type of dude. I could be wrong. What do you think? Anyway, I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you soon.